Welcome to Pre-Com. It is Thursday, May 29th. We're doing a bit of a special one this morning. I told Mook of our show, Mook Can't Sleep Here, that I was kind of having trouble the last two workouts because we can't play music. Royalty-free stuff, kind of boring. And he said, oh, I'll line up some entertainment for you for this workout. Thought he was going to let me borrow his ear pods. Instead, he sent me 3 comedians who are going to be performing directly in front of us during our workout. I'm already incredibly uncomfortable. So we'll see how this goes. We have Georgia Moore in the middle, Brandon Kiefer, Zach Alpers, all right. And I guess we're just going to work out in front of you guys.
Do you guys want to get a little closer? Or are we...
No, we're good.
Nice and tight.
Thank you, Mook.
Yeah, this is going to be great.
Thank you.
And they're roast comedians, have we mentioned?
Yeah, the roast comedians, but thankfully we'll have nothing
My
to make fun of us
self-esteem
for.
definitely isn't going to take a hit today.
The workout, 10
luck
squats,
finding anything on me.
10 of these, 20 glute bridges, 10 lunges, 15 behind the head dumbbells, 20 tiptoes, 20 lay on the side leg lifts. I still don't know. 20 Russian twists, 10 lunges, 20 jumping jacks, 15 tricep kickbacks, plank as long as you can. Repeat till 10 minutes is up. Again, get off your couch. Maybe move around a little bit with us, maybe, or don't. That's fine too. Whatever the case, I've talked long enough.
Just listen to the comedians.
Here we go. 10 minutes.
Don't mind us.
Twice as long as my normal workout.
All right, here we go. 10 squats. Let's start it out.
All right.
Okay.
Nice. We're opting for the don't in terms of working out.
No, I feel bad for like women who have to work out because like no, when you're a guy, if you have small biceps, you know, you can work out your biceps. But I don't know what these women can do to make their boobs bigger.
That's what we're generating content to get enough money for boob jobs. That's all that it is. That's all that it's about.
And Kate, how many kids have you had?
2.
Okay, that looks about right.
Jesus.
It's the spine.
Oh!
Are you okay?
Imagine,
Okay.
imagine you two messing up on this.
Imagine.
You guys come here often, or? No?
Why'd you make us do 20 of these?
I don't know.
It'd be a workout in itself to go get another dumbbell, so I'm just going to stick with the one.
Yeah, the other one's already big enough.
No, you're gonna want to work the left.
Because he jacks off.
These are actually called the Karen lifts.
Sounds about right.
Get out of here.
These are called the HOA is going to hear about this one.
So 20 glute bridges.
What is that?
Okay, so I actually saw the comedian Stavi doing these when he was here. He said they're for
That's,
his
that's
back.
definitely who you want to take notes from.
Yeah.
Okay,
All right.
so you lay on your back.
I like that Megan's dressed like Blood Gang.
And you go like this, basically.
Oh, I've done this before.
Okay,
They're
this
comfortable
stuff.
to watch.
Rarely.
Right now.
I don't know you guys as well.
Yeah.
Hello.
This is, yeah. Well,
You guys put these chairs here.
Yeah, we did.
that's how you get 2 kids.
Danny, don't show your period stains.
Fuck.
I'm hoping the crotch of my leggings don't have a hole in them.
They definitely do.
You do.
And your underwear probably has a hole too.
That's a whole lot of flesh.
I think she's about to have her 3rd kid right now.
Yeah, this is awkward. Yeah, this is,
Well,
I think I'm almost at 20.
Brandon and Zach are
This
both
is 20
hard.
for me.
Yeah.
All right, what's next, Kate?
All right. Well, Dan's fully erect.
Yeah, I'm going to be down here for a little while.
15 behind the head dumbbells.
Oh, we can sit and do these?
Standing.
You got one of these?
Okay.
No, I can handle it.
You can handle the 18 pounds?
Okay.
15, but...
2,
Don't look at my sweat stains.
3.
The
You guys
try-hard
make eye
sets.
contact with us when you do this one.
Yeah, just complete eye. You immediately looked away.
I immediately got scared. You're very intimidating. You're very hot. It's really
Ooh. Hey, y'all heard that? See, that's probably a fucking joke. God damn it.
Nah, Georgia is trying to fuck.
I'm a mom too. I've been married for a while. I can try something new.
No, I kind of dislike women who work out because I feel like those women seem like they're gonna want me to be my best self.
Sure,
Yeah.
that's fair. No, wait, that's
Yeah.
actually real.
I don't like that.
That's why I don't like guys that work out. I know he has standards. I'm like, this is a no-go
I gotta
for
be
me.
with somebody with no standards.
Yeah.
Dan knows what I'm talking about.
What's next?
Okay, 10 lunges.
All right.
All right.
All right.
We're almost halfway through.
Yeah.
This isn't painfully awkward, huh?
No.
Yeah.
Again, trying not to look at you
Got
guys.
anything to plug?
Yeah, if you
Plug
guys
the
got
open mic.
Dude,
There's
yeah,
been
come
nobody
to
there.
Guys, please come to the Laugh Factory open mic every Tuesday at 9. It's a free show. There's no drink minimum. It's a fun time. You get to hang out. You get to watch these two bomb any night of the week. Super
Did
fun.
you say bomb?
No, I did not.
Oh,
No.
that's
Oh
cool.
wait, actually, speaking
Yeah,
of
yeah,
bombs.
yeah. We had
What,
some
didn't
fun.
you find something on the beach?
Yeah, well, no, I didn't find anything on the beach, but what I did do was pretend like I did. And the news came.
What'd you pretend to find?
Yeah, somebody found a flare on Montrose Beach, and I guess the news thought that was worthy, but they came to my job yesterday and asking about it, and even though I wasn't there, I told them that I was, and then I just made up a bunch of crazy shit to say on the news.
So the normal news.
Yeah,
Turns
and
out
it made
just,
it on the news.
It was just
last
a
night.
vape pen.
Check out the 7 o'clock
Yeah,
news.
check out the ABC News. Yeah. If you've recorded it from
Plugging
yesterday,
anything?
you can watch it again.
Nah.
I don't have anything
Intense
regular.
workout right here.
I know.
My calves are
Peaking
burning.
pose.
This workout was specifically designed to make Danny look like a pussy.
It's working.
He's got the headband on to keep the makeup out of his eyes.
This actually burns. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna
no
lie.
shit.
This is really
You said it was
painful.
gonna be an easy workout.
I don't know. We have 4 minutes and 50
training here.
seconds left. Okay. Lay on the side leg lifts. Okay. I don't know the actual name of these. I'm giving you guys full crotch again.
Right.
Sorry. So you go like
I'm gonna go
this.
side crotch.
Can we
little
take a quick
butt.
break? I've stared at their crotch for a little while.
Yeah.
Crotch break.
I gotta go watch.
So wild.
I haven't been to an OB in like 4 years, and it's basically my checkup.
Yeah, 7. Things
Seen
are
anything
looking
suspicious?
I don't know. I feel like it smells funny.
You know, when these started, I did start getting a smell.
Yeah. Did you?
Are you from the South?
Yeah.
Assuming she's a Louisiana lady?
Oh yeah. My
Yeah.
dad lives in Louisiana
What
now.
part?
Yeah. Kinder.
Yeah, I've heard of Kinder.
Yeah.
I think that's
The weirdest.
close
Oh, that's
where
cool.
Britney
My dad's
Spears is
racist
from.
too.
Well, my dad's dead, so
Oh,
I guess
My dad's
technically
dead
you
too, and racist.
Yeah, we're supposed to be here to bury you too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he stays in
fine.
my book bag.
Thanks again to Mook.
He hasn't come out since the move.
Oh, you got.
I do feel a burn.
No shit.
I mean, this is
Oh yeah. This is Ash Wednesday for you.
Pretty sure
He
we'll be-
quit for a second.
No,
Did
no,
y'all
no.
see that?
Oh,
You gotta make up for more.
I know the camera will
AI.
All right.
okay.
I can't take any more of that smell.
You guys are gonna hate this. 20 Russian twists.
What is that?
I don't know, but I'm afraid I'm gonna
That's
fart.
when you bomb Ukraine.
Here
It
we
might
go.
be easier.
I can't do 20 of these.
Not with
just
that
gonna-
attitude, Kate.
I'm gonna do that butt thing again. That weird. Do you guys work out at all?
No, I don't touch the stuff.
I would never thought.
That's why we got funny.
Yeah.
That's why we're in these chairs.
Yeah. If I was still drinking, I would definitely have a cooler next to me.
All right, that was 20 of those. Whoever counted.
Okay, Kate's still going.
I'm still going.
Little more
Seems like we should
heart.
be drinking.
I know.
She was in the Marines.
I don't know.
I don't
I tried to
know.
really sober it
Yeah.
up.
This is only the 3rd time in 4 years I've worked out, so
What's next?
10 lunges again. I'm sorry.
I like how we're just tailgating their workout.
Yeah, I should have brought you guys hot dogs.
Yeah, we should have been eating
yeah.
pizza. Yeah.
Ice cream and a baseball hat.
Yeah.
That would be fun.
A couple Italian beefs right now would be pretty good.
That sounds fantastic.
A couple?
You guys are making
Yeah, a
us
couple.
hungry.
There's your Italian beef right there.
There we go.
Oh, all right, Danny.
I'll take it. I've been called worse. And better.
That was an attempt at a compliment, even though
Yeah.
it was a roast.
But you did call him Italian,
Yeah.
which is bad.
I don't know. It's just like I see 2 women and a man, and all I can think is be mean to the women.
Welcome to Barstool Sports.
Yeah.
You are in the
fit right
buddy,
in.
you're in the
You
right
I've been
place.
thinking about applying
You
as a
just stay
janitor
right here.
Two
Yeah,
of
you're
our
fine.
only women.
Oh yeah.
Okay, 20 jumping jacks.
Okay.
All right.
Now this is a real workout.
It's not demoralizing.
This is a
anyway.
man's workout.
Yeah, you know, this is what they did before they stormed the beaches of Normandy.
And the capital.
Once again, you're in the right place. Big T, what's up, buddy?
Oh,
I
Okay.
almost lost my mic
I
there.
feel like that would be a good sketch. Training to storm
storm the
the capital.
Just like chain smoking
Yeah.
cigarettes. More of those? All right.
Okay.
All right.
How would you
15
train?
of these, whatever these are, tricep kickbacks. Someone on the sales team told me about these.
Who's
They actually
that?
work out.
Who told you about this?
The whole squad was like, you gotta do tricep kickbacks.
And you
I
fell
don't
for
know.
it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Kate, you're going to look so good for your divorce.
We're in the final 50 seconds.
All right.
Yeah.
There we go.
Okay.
Come on. Brandon's over there thinking of a buzzer beater right
Yeah,
now.
buzzer beaters.
Come on.
I will say, this was a tougher workout than last week. This went way faster.
I
Just
did. We're having
feeling incredibly
having some
uncomfortable in
sound
front of you
bits.
guys. Like, this was
We
actually,
can do this. We can do anything.
this was
Yeah.
effective.
I think Dan is blacked out about that.
No, I do this all the time, I swear.
No. Okay, and then
make
we're
the girls
supposed to
feel
end it
better about
planking as much
that's
as you
a
can.
good move. Yeah.
Final plank.
Oh,
All right. Direct eye contact. Pick one of them and just look right in their eye.
Right here.
Right in
We're
their
locked
eye.
in, babe.
So uncomfortable.
Very uncomfortable.
You're getting a divorce today.
This is awkward, but it's effective. I'm not thinking about the pain I'm in. I'm
Yeah.
thinking about, oh, we did it. All right.
The ones
Okay.
I had
how do I look? Am I fit yet?
I had a couple of nights.
And that's it. That's pre-cum with Kate and Friends.
Oh,
Up
come.
next, Kate
Yeah.
and Friends,
Come
or
watch
Kate
the show.
mostly. Come watch a show with us.
Speaking
and,
of pre-cum, I gotta go to the bathroom.
yeah, go on ahead. Get our towels, wipe ourselves off, head into the studio for Kate and Friends or Kate until mostly. See you there. Come on, guys. Let's go.
Yeah,
Thank
no
you,
problem.
guys.
Thank you guys.
And where do
for
we
coming.
collect our pay?
Oh, run.
Oh no! Oh no!
Right.
It was way less awkward at ESPN.
Yeah, this was weird. This
No.
one was weird.
I guess we should probably leave, and if you guys want to
You
see
steal some stuff?
No, if you want to see some minorities, we should probably leave.
Yeah, let's get out of here.
I'm gonna steal some stuff.
I want to steal some stuff too. That's what I was thinking.
No, okay. There's dude wipes in the bathroom. Georgia, you can use them too.
Do you think?
Yeah.
Woo! Oh, another big workout over at Pre-Com. Another big
That
workout
was
there.
intense.
Welcome to Kate and Friends, episode 3. That was workout number 3. That was weird. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it was
That
a
was
little weird.
We're throwing spaghetti at the wall until something sticks.
We thought it'd be more emotionally abusive, but it was only physically abusive.
It was only physically abusive.
I told you they'd have nothing on me to roast me for.
Well, it started. I went to ask Mook the other day. I was like, I was in the shower, and that's where
Thinking
I have
of
a lot of
Mook.
my best thoughts. And I was like, what if I did stand up throughout the workout to make it go faster, like things to keep my mind off the workout. Then I was like, what if I had an actual comedian here do a stand up set for us while we do our workout, just like 2 feet in front of us. And I asked Mook, and he was like, fuck no. Like, I'm not, like you burned 10 minutes of great material on this workout that, like, 300 people are going to watch. So glad you guys are here.
Oh, hopefully it's more than that.
And then he was like, I have some friends that can come in and just sit in front of you awkwardly. And I was like, please do. Please send them in. And thankfully, they came in. So huge shout out to Zach, Georgia, and Brandon for coming in. They basically had no context for what that was going to be. And so I think we shell-shocked them a little bit with just oddness.
I will say your choice of the hip thrust and the leg lifts were very interesting.
Yeah, I was looking for stuff to do stationary. I was literally Googling physical exercise.
Right in
because,
front of those poor guys, putting meat in front of a wolf.
putting meat in front of a wolf, and they were not hungry, it turns out, at all. But I'm looking for different ways to mix that up and to mix up the first 10 minutes. If maybe we'll do All-American Reject style. DM us and we'll come do squats in your backyard for a crowd of like 1,000 people. Okay. Are you a magician in the Chicago area who wants to do magic while we do jumping jacks?
Would love that. I
Would love that.
Magic.
Workout. If you know a fun workout instructor who wants to come in and like get us going, whatever. But I'm looking at ways to switch that up because it's a fun way too, I think, So I love like unlocking new characters in my life.
Yeah.
Like the time I went to get my horoscope read, and now me and that lady run into each other at the park all the time, and like she's a new character in my life that I love to run into, and I'm like, what's the moonbeams doing this week? Like, how's the stars aligning? But that's a great way. Zach, who was telling that story about being on the news because of the road, he works at this beach bar here in Chicago. That one comedian in the red shirt, Zach, and I guess did you see like there was some sort of Coast Guard boat mishap? And a bunch of flares and stuff are washing up on the beaches. And like people are just like
Picking them
finding
up.
them and stuff. So he works at a beach bar on Montrose Beach where these flares washed up. And I guess he wasn't even there that day, but he was like, check me out. I'm on the news pretending I was there and telling the news like it was crazy and people were running, blah, blah, blah. And so I looked it up last night. I'm like, oh yeah, there he is. Like talking like he was there. And that's a new character.
I will say,
You know?
after he said that he actually wasn't there, it reminded me of that hitchhiker documentary. The guy that was like it happened like this, and he ended up being the killer.
Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe he just was the one on that boat just setting off at
Dun,
all
dun,
of the
dun.
flares.
Those could be Zach Albert's
Flares.
Albert's flares. Who knows?
New-
But yeah, I feel like he's a new character we've unlocked in
If
the
you
Chicago
find
area.
one, he can sign it for you. Autograph flare.
Yeah.
They don't even double check, huh? They're like, we believe you.
The news?
Yeah.
Yeah, apparently not. Apparently
All right,
not.
nothing new.
Neither do we. Anyways, quick note. We have a birthday shout out. Somebody DM me. Sean wanted to wish his wife a happy birthday. Shout out Amanda via her husband, Sean. I said, can you give me a little more info? He said her nickname's Stella. We live near Syracuse. She likes airplanes but is afraid to fly. She could be a bit shy. Recently joined her bocce league. Loves her Rhodesian Ridgeback Oliver. Flying kites, painting, gaming, cum, and the yak. For her birthday, we're flying kites at Fort Ontario. Happy birthday, Amanda. You're an absolute beaut. I didn't know, and this is no I'm genuinely, I didn't know there was like a big adult kite flying community.
There is a huge adult kite flying community, and I only know that because I lived on the coastal area of the beach.
Yeah.
But whenever it was windy out there and it was a nice day, you would have kites that were like thousands of dollars. out there.
Really?
Whoa.
Yeah, it's very. I mean, it gets crazy. Like both poles, you can like make a dragon like go crazy ways. Yeah, kites are tight.
So people get really into it. I remember that book, The Kite Runner. You guys remember that?
Didn't
It was
read
big
that one.
back in the day.
Nope.
It was this book about this kid in Afghanistan, and there's actually kite competitions where they put the string in shards of glass and they fly kites like fighter jets, and they try to cut each other's kite strings.
That's
So they do
actually
like
really
maneuvers
cool.
and stuff. I don't know if maybe that's what Amanda's doing. She's like out there chopping down string or something.
It is funny that she loves planes and flying kites and is terrified of heights
Yeah.
or like flying. Like,
Yeah.
It's just like I want to be up there, but I like my feet on the ground.
Well, happy birthday, Amanda.
Happy
Love
birthday,
that.
Amanda.
Just do, if you have something to celebrate, did you get your master's degree? DeVry University, perhaps? Got an IUD put in with pain meds?
Very
Your friend
specific.
got laid after a drought? Hit me up. We might shout him out on the show. We might do a little celebration thing. On the opposite end, Megan and I want to start the vent. We want to get actually like a large metal vent in here. And you can send us like, is the neighbor dog shitting on your lawn? Like,
Anything
husband
you
being
need to vent
annoying,
about.
are they-
Yeah.
yeah.
we'll
they're not
get
taking
inside
out
the
the
vent and we'll
trash.
just scream.
Yeah.
So that's another thing.
If you don't want to say it, we will.
We'll say it for you. I want to do like the old school radio, like love you, hate you lines that
Yeah.
they used to do, the anonymous. So either a voicemail line or an email countersign. We'll figure it out.
That's what we do. We're just figuring it out.
Yeah. Anyways, I guess we can hop into our hyper local news around here. Side note, my headphones aren't working. It's fucking me up.
Side note, mine are extra loud.
Are they?
Is it me? I'm like, I don't know. I'm powering through.
Do they just need to be turned up, you think, Mackenzie? I could do it.
Yes,
All right.
I think so.
Okay.
All right, you
Shout
guys
out
talk to it.
Danny.
Danny knows how to do stuff. By
Danny
the way, we got
does.
Mackenzie on the sticks.
Shout out
Megan and
Mackenzie.
Danny here. I don't know if I introduced everybody at the start of the show.
Yeah, this is too low. Now I can't hear shit. Right there.
Yeah.
Perfect for me.
Nice work, Danny.
Yes, you can hear
Again.
yourself.
Okay.
We
Yeah,
are
good.
so back. Look at Danny back there.
We're so back.
Yeah, let's go, Danny.
Hyper local news here at Barstool Sports. The interns are here. I wanted to do for anyone who follows Stu Feiner, who is Barstool adjacent.
interns are here.
He does a huge video every time the mulch gets delivered to his house every spring, where he just runs around his house screaming, "Mulch is here!" That's how I felt when the interns got here. Interns are here. It's always exciting to get to mix and mingle with them and get to know them. And and all that stuff.
It's also so nice to know that you're just one more year older.
Yeah. They're so young. It's painful.
They're speaking foreign tongues, this new slang.
They're
Yes.
closer to my son's age than my own.
Oh.
Damn, it's a little terrifying. Do we know how many there are?
I believe about like 9.
Yeah.
I think there's only one new content employee. The rest, I think, are behind the scenes. I
Yeah.
believe. But I don't know. I've been too scared to really talk to them. I don't
Tune into Yak today. You might find out more about them.
Oh, that's right.
Ooh.
We're doing, you wrote,
Mhm.
Are You Smarter Than an Intern? We're
Correct.
doing like a competition with them
I love
on
that.
the Yak today. So that's right. It'll be a good way to get to know them.
But you already met one of them.
I did over the weekend. I had a kind of awkward and stressful encounter with one of them.
Kind of.
We talked about it on the Yak, but Danny wanted to investigate further. I brought my kids here whenever the weather sucks or I just need a contained place to let them run around. This office is amazing.
Yes.
There's toys everywhere and like Nerf guns and Big Cat's kids' little vehicles and all this stuff. And it's just like, there are cars here that are vacuum cleaners that the kids can drive around the basketball court and vacuum the basketball court. It's like,
It rocks.
it's a great place to bring them. So I was leaving, and they hate leaving, when I ran into this new intern out in the parking lot.
Let's roll
with
the
his
tape.
mom. Yeah.
Roll the tape.
Danny investigates.
I know it might be hard to talk about, but can you describe what happened?
Me and my mom were just gonna scooter to the office. Like, what could go wrong? It's a weekend. Who's gonna be there? And then we get there and we see this, like, we see him as a family. And I recognize Kate from the Yak.
And I recognized Henry, one of our new interns.
And we go over there and we start talking.
And I'm trying to be polite and talk to him and his mom. And then my 4-year-old laser beam honed in on the scooters.
And all of a sudden our kids start like jumping on my scooter.
Looking at the scooter was apparently not enough for him. I was trying to wrangle both kids back into the car. They love being here, so they hate leaving the office, so it was already tough.
And then they went after my mom.
I try not to helicopter parent and give him a little bit of space to be himself, but I knew it was getting to be a little much when he started ramming his head onto her butt and going between her legs on the scooter. But then at that point, my youngest was roaming around the parking lot like a sim, and I had to keep him in check too, and things started to unravel quickly. Power moved by him, very advanced. Once I got him off that scooter, he moved to the next one. He went to the next scooter, and he had a death grip. People don't realize this. Like, why didn't you just get him off? He had a death grip. I also have a bad back, by the way. People forget that. I don't know if I talk about it enough. He knows he's in control. He's like, look at me, I'm the captain now. He's not going anywhere because he knows I can't do it. So between that and the other baby and blah, 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 I mean, free reign. This guy had free reign. You can't hear me saying it, but finally at the end, it got to the point where I told them, hey, as soon as I get him off this scooter, you need to sorry, but you have to go. You have to peel out as fast as you can. And even then, he still didn't want to give up on the scooter dream. He chased him all the way down
I thought we escaped, and then I looked back and he was still chasing after us.
And then he just stared into the abyss, watching them scoot away. And it's been a couple days now. I think he's still out there looking for them in their scooters. So come home soon.
Luckily, we got out of there harm-free. I was so nervous.
Mom of the year.
Yeah.
That was so good.
Thank you, Danny,
Thank
for
you.
using that together. It's always so awkward when your kids are misbehaving or whatever. And I wouldn't even say he's misbehaving. He's being a 4-year-old. Scooters fucking rule.
Yeah.
And he wanted to check it out.
You were trying to balance too much. You can't have a normal conversation while worrying about 2 kids at once.
And then
Right.
add scooters in the mix with a new
Yeah.
intern that you've heard of but not met yet.
Now we're operating
and
machinery.
his mom is there. You're just like, oh, fuck.
Well, I felt bad because I think he brought her there hoping that somebody would be walking out so that he could show her around the office. And instead, I was like, you guys gotta fucking go. You guys gotta scoot out of here right now.
Scram!
But it is always awkward when your kid is acting up in front of other people because maybe if it was in the house, I'd be like, hey, buddy. I'd give him the eyes, you
Right.
know? But in that case, you want to be like, hey,
Yeah.
maybe get off that.
Do you guys, off the top of your head, have a most chaotic moment where you're trying to wrangle your kids at a bizarre place, like a store?
When my back was really fucked up, I'm going to talk about it every episode, but when my back was really fucked up and we have a playground near us that's fenced in, but it's a pretty big area. And I could only hobble at a slow pace. And
Hobble.
when it was time to leave the playground, and I had the baby so you can't go up in the playground equipment. I can't just leave this baby. And when it was time to leave the playground, we went through a week span where he literally for like 30 minutes. I was like
disappear.
that slow butler in that Laura Croft video game that was just like following him around, but I couldn't get him. And other parents, like finally other parents would be like, do you want me to grab your kid? Like, I was helpless. And it's like embarrassing. It's like, you can't control your kid. And people were in the comments in the act being like, I would never let my blah, blah, blah.
Oh, shut up.
Good for you.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know.
That's happened.
It's hard.
So there's a big festival in our little town that we live in now. And my son's birthday happens to fall on it like every year. It's like a 3-day festival. So him and all of his friends get together. And so I'm responsible for about 10, 11-year-old kids.
Yeah.
But, you know, as long as they're staying together, I've talked to their parents, they're good to kind of roam. Last year, one of them went rogue. Oh. And I could not find one of them for like 45 minutes. Oof. And I'm like, I'm responsible. The parents are here. They're by the stage having a cocktail. I'm supposed to be on duty. Where is this kid? Found him. He wouldn't get off of the fucking Ferris wheel. The entire time.
That shit is so I remember babysitting, like playing hide and seek, and sometimes the kids would hide really fucking good, and I'd be like, oh my god, the parents are gonna be home in 5 minutes, and I don't know where the fuck this
action free.
Yeah, like where the fuck are you? But it is stressful when your kids don't. Like I've had a couple, the O'Hare baggage claim, and there were stoolies there being like, hi, Kate, as my son was rolling on the ground just screaming, a meltdown at the end of a long travel day. And I'm like, nothing to see here. Just going to bribe him with, with snacks from this vending machine.
Moral of the story is, if you have kids, they're going to throw a tantrum at some point, and it's going to happen in front of people that you don't want it to. Yeah. And you know what? That's okay.
Well, I lucked out because his mom, he's the oldest of 4, it turns out, 3 boys and a girl. And she was like, don't worry about it. Because after we got him off the one you'd see, but he laid on the ground and was like,
don't you love those type of moms, though, that are like, oh, yeah.
This is nothing.
Yes. They make me
feel
feel
She took a drag
so
of a cigarette. She's like, oh, you think this is something? Don't worry about it.
And you're like, let me,
mother for.
You're like, can I have shorts, please?
Yeah. But that was a little bit awkward.
A question for both of you. Do your partners, whether it's husband or baby daddy, do they have, can they come in and will the kid immediately start listening to them once they yell, or do they have like a word that scares them, or is it the same for both parties involved, you and him? Like if they're really not listening, you're like, Pat, get over here.
For me personally, since I've now started I'm like working out of the house a lot more. It used to be when Dad would come, be like, Dad comes home, but now it's like as soon as I get in the door, they're like buttoned up, like, hello, Mom, how was your day at work? And I'm like, okay, so how was the day?
Yeah, that's funny. I find they respect Pat more than they respect me for some reason. I don't know if it's like they're super, super comfortable with like the default parent or whatever, so they know they can act like shit, whatever. But no, I mostly use gentle threats about not ever watching Paw Patrol again.
Gentle threats are like
they're
the best thing ever. Yeah. It's like, if you don't stop, those butterflies that we just put in there are not ever going to hatch from the chrysalis.
Yeah,
like,
you can't.
I have no control over that.
I'm going to have Marshall put down. I'm going to have him fucking killed if you don't get in the car right now.
My parents would always be like, the man is coming. No matter where we were. We could be at like a restaurant, a restaurant, a movie theater, or like a manager. Be like, the man's going to come and he's going to yell at you. And I was like, okay, I won't do it. And so, yeah, till this day, kind of explains why I am the way I am.
I have used on airplanes, when they start, I'm like, hey, listen, the pilots, like, they can come back here, and if they'll tell you they'll turn the plane, or like, they will do it.
Wow, kids are so fucking stupid.
Sometimes the flight attendants and other people will help me, and they're like, absolutely, they will. So just a heads up. And so
those are angels out there. Yeah. And those are the people we gotta.
That's gonna come get you.
That's scarring for a kid.
That's fucking terrifying.
He got me to listen.
Did you have night terrors ever by chance?
Even with the pilot, like, that's scarring for a child. They're all in cahoots. Yeah, like, you're like, don't worry, we will kick you off this fucking plane, kid.
Yeah, you're right. It's a little. I don't know if anybody go off in the chat if you got threatened in a weird way as a kid. Let us know. I do every now and then pull out the Santas watching too. Like it'll be like the middle of July, and I'm like, friendly reminder.
Like, I don't give a fuck, Mom. It's June.
I do the hot sauce sometimes. Like if like they're like using bad words or like talking back a lot, giving me sass. Like I'll put hot sauce on your tongue, and my son's just like, bleh. I'm like, all right,
do it.
That never works anymore.
It's hyper local news. On to just hyper local news.
Okay,
it's a little less personal, but it's about another coworker here. Jack McCarthy, one of Barstool's main gambling liaisons, is beefing with his apartment complex, setting off an onslaught of support from at least 20 two other coworkers, Rico Bosco and Liam Blutman. Many people who work here live in that building. Here's some of the tweets that went out last night.
This is the Barstool dorm.
And this is all alleged. I'm so afraid of getting us sued. I don't know how this works. This is all alleged against the K2 apartments here in Chicago. I was like scrolling last night and saw Jack McCarthy tweeting all this stuff about K2, and then Blutman and Bosco hopping on, and I didn't know quite what was going on, but I do know that like half of this office lives in that building.
Yeah.
Correct.
Mackenzie, you live there, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, Mackenzie lives there. Big T, KB. Not to out. Wait, am I doxing?
Oh, fuck.
No,
Sorry.
We've talked about it.
Okay.
It'll be fine.
Oh, my bad.
If you want to see anybody.
Say your room numbers.
I'll put Lucas's phone number up next. But a ton of people live there, and I finally got the skinny this morning and this is the same apartment complex where a drunk man came home in the middle of the night one night. He, like his first week of living there on one of the top floors, tried to install a bidet. I guess the whole toilet cracked off and he fell asleep, and it flooded the entire floor, including all of coworker Big T's stuff. I think it dripped down into KB's apartment.
Flooded multiple floors.
Honestly, though, the worst person that could have happened to is Big T.
Big shoe guy,
but he's just also like he's really good at complaining.
He's getting his money back.
Yeah,
and he's going to have like a year's free rent.
100%.
There's a few buildings like in that same area. It's not necessarily like all
so
the
it's like
same
a big
one.
complex of
Like,
buildings.
they're owned by different. They're completely different buildings, but we all do live like
it right in there.
Mm-hmm.
So this was also the building where there was like a hostage situation that was on the news with like a man with like a gun that blah blah blah, and then the guy just disappeared and they never found him. And then
it's not scary at all.
So I got the skinny this morning. I know everyone's on the edge of their seats, and Rico, he tweeted out then in the next little picture, share the email, Jack McCarthy. I'll block it, share it. The boys are playing Name That Tune in the Zoom right now. I guess the email was about the other Blutman filled me in this morning. He pays for a parking spot in the parking garage. They're doing construction in the parking garage, so they told him he's got to pay to park on the street until it's done. So
oh wow, that's ridiculous.
I know. So he's losing. That's but
all right.
That's
I didn't even know
news.
whose side I was on at first because I didn't know what was going on. But
can I just throw something out there though?
You sure can.
Jack McCarthy parks on the side of the street in the red zone every day at work to be really close to the door to walk in. So maybe that's a McCarthy karma there.
Maybe it's a little mix of both then. Maybe he's just a lazy man.
He at
just
least
kidding,
can't
Jack.
be,
I love you.
He at least can't be paying for that parking spot right now while construction is going on, right? They would have to give him.
I guess that's what the beef is. I don't know if all this.
They have to take it up with Qatar. Don't they own the parking meters?
Yeah, we'll send them there.
They do,
Saudi Arabia owns all the parking meters in Chicago. Fun fact.
Jack has to go take it up with them there.
But yeah, I liked that a couple other employees hopped on board to support him during this difficult time.
Completely blindly, probably. I don't really think they knew what was going on.
Rico has no idea. He lives in New York.
But he's on the right side of history.
100%. And that's not the first time here. Like on Moot Can't Sleep, I talked about it, but the time a car dealership tried to fuck me over and Big Cat
sent
out the forces, and I ended up getting a great discount on a used Buick. So these things happen. Have you guys ever been screwed over by a landlord or like crazy housing issues or?
In college, my bedroom, I noticed it was really cold once winter started rolling around, to the point where like one morning I saw my breath, and later that night I went to bed with a Carhartt on. And I was like, what's going on here? Why isn't the heat getting into my room? And I realized there wasn't even a vent in my room for heat to enter. And I told the landlord, and he's like, yeah, I can give you a space heater or something, but no one's ever complained about it before.
Pussy.
I'm like, what are you talking about? It's 20 degrees in my room. I got gaslit, but that's Charleston, Illinois for you.
That's Charleston.
That's probably the only one who had heat, if anything.
The only thing that happened, and it wasn't really that crazy, but we owned a house in Louisiana, and when we first moved in, there was like a big drain pipe in the back because, it's Louisiana. Yeah. It's underwater. It floods. And there was about 3 rings you could see on like the drainage pipe when we first moved in. 10 years later, we could now count down to 8 reams on it. So our land was sinking. And we tried to bring it up, with the government, and they were just like, can't do anything about it.
Don't live in Louisiana then.
Yeah,
you don't want to sink into the marsh.
Yeah, basically we sold our house, and now the woman and 2 kids that live there are eventually going to fall in a hole.
Shit.
Damn, that was when I toured New Orleans during Super Bowl week. Go Birds! Birds won the Super
Go
Bowl. Do you guys
Birds.
remember that?
Yeah,
They won the
go
Super Bowl this
Birds.
year.
Rings a bell.
But that whole city
Fucking
is
dickhead.
sinking like however many feet a year. It's fascinating.
It
It's
is.
interesting. I had once when after I had my first son in our apartment in New Jersey, our fridge died in the middle of the night, and I had a really, really, really hard time storing extra breast milk, and all the breast milk that I had stored in the fridge went bad, and I had like a full on. Like they almost had to commit me. So like
Danny, I heard Danny go like, oh, but he doesn't understand.
It was
Pumping is such a pain in the ass, and then the milk itself is so incredibly important that I've on accident like knocked over the little filler cup on accident like right after I've taken it off and just like immediately started crying.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, that was 25
been so
minutes
tired
of hard
you go
work.
to pour it into the thing, you just pour it on the countertop.
Yep.
You're like, fuck, what the? But yeah, and then it took them over a month and a half to get us a new fridge. We literally didn't have a fridge with a baby for a month and a half. And her thing was, we can't find any in stock. So Pat went to Home Depot. He's like, there's 50 right here. But it was because the cheapest one wasn't available. And that's the only one so I was keeping, it was in the middle of winter. I was keeping breast milk. I have like videos of it and all the stuff out on our patio. Like, I didn't know what else to do.
It's adapt and survive. That's what you got to do.
But I was hiding an animal in there and we weren't supposed to. So I felt like she had leverage over me. I didn't want to get rid of my cat. So. Spork.
Oh.
Yeah.
How hard is it to pump breast milk? Like, is it vary case by case?
That could be a whole episode.
Yeah.
It's so often too. I didn't realize people are doing it like multiple times a day.
Oh yeah.
What do you do to help pump breast milk? Like,
there is a whole industry backed by like zero science that sells a million different things, brownies and cookies and supplements and blah blah blah, that's supposed to make you like super producer.
Like
and then
coconut milk.
Then you see these moms online who, like, no shade to them, but they're super producers where they're like, look how easy you're a super producer.
Yeah, I made enough milk to feed at least 3 babies with my first one.
Fuck.
I would wake up
God.
so engorged that like I would literally get up and it just would start like
they would
fire
be like ready to
spraying.
explode. Yeah. And people don't realize, we'll get into it. There's not just one, it's not like one hole. There's like 8 holes.
I didn't know that
sprays
either.
everywhere. Like, it's crazy. And your boobs get so that you start to get anxiety if you don't pump.
And then you see like every vein pop out. Like it looks like you just like took a bunch of steroids and worked out, but just for your titties.
Yeah.
But my question is like, some people don't do that. Like they don't breastfeed their children. So where is theirs going?
It just kind of dries up. If the more it's like the more you pump, it sends a signal to your body like this baby must be eating a ton. Make more. Son.
Okay, that makes sense.
But the average amount and so I thought I was only getting like 3 ounces max every time I pumped, and I was like, I'm a failure. I can't blah blah blah. Like, and actually it turns out that's like normal. That's
also,
the normal amount. You're like lucky if you can pump and get 4 ounces. That's a whole other like ball of wax that I could do like 10 episodes on.
A lot of people don't know too, with my as I said, like I overproduced with my first one. Yeah. He was constantly spitting up and hungry, and I'm like, dude, I'm feeding him all the time. And it was because he was getting the 4 milk, which is more like water based, instead of the high milk, which is all the fat and the nutrients that he needs to stay full. And so it's like nonstop feeding, and I'm like, I'm a dairy cow at that point. Like I was hating life.
There's 2 different. We got 2 different flavors going. There's 4
2
milk
different flavors. And then when the baby's first born, the yellow milk, what's that called?
I don't remember. The colostrum.
The colostrum.
Yes.
It's like bright yellow.
Wait,
and it's only lasts for like the first, but it's like super food.
And when the babies get sick, your body knows that your baby's sick and will.
Their saliva goes into your nipple and your milk changes to make them healthier again. It's crazy. There's
crazy.
So much shit to it. It's insane. Bodybuilders pay a fuck ton on the black market for breast milk.
Yep.
They like meeting up with moms with coolers in Starbucks parking lots. Like,
wait, what?
There's a documentary about it. It's
crazy.
There's like a black market for breast milk. There is a documentary about this super producer milk mom. Her kids are like 8 and 10 now, or they're probably teenagers now. And she just has never stopped pumping. And so her family, they eat their cereal, they bake their goods. They like like the whole family. It's
still,
yes.
And they're 8 and 10.
The kids are older now. It's like an older. I saw it a couple years ago, but like the whole family was using this. Like,
did you ever try your breast milk?
A little bit, yeah.
I didn't try mine. I just couldn't get past it. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I'm like, I literally am drinking from a cow's udder basically, but I couldn't get past myself.
I'm stuck on the yellow milk.
Yeah, people will pay for cow's colostrum. You can buy it. It's jugs of yellow milk, and it's like superfood.
So there's moms out there who are like, remember Blackfish Tillicum? Everyone wanted his cum. Everyone wants their breast milk because they're the top of the notch.
They're like
yellow
super
milk.
producers. It's crazy. It's a whole. But it's normal to actually not produce that much milk and to like.
What do you do to increase output if you need to?
You just keep
In between
pumping.
feedings.
It just sucks it out of there?
Yeah, because
Or do you
again,
like shake things around or
no, just like the more if the action of a sucking is going, whether it be baby or pump, it's sending signals to your brain. Hey, there needs to be more production because something is pumping it out of you.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So I made the mistake of feeding him a lot and then also pumping a lot. So my body was like, oh, she had triplets. Let's send 2 gallons to the chest.
It's crazy. There's so much more. I could do a whole. Everyone thinks it's like this natural, easy thing that just whatever.
Sucks. I hated it.
My nips were like
raw,
like
chewed
boogie
up.
boarding on a cheese grater, and I would cry every time Pat would have to like squeeze my shoulders, and I would sob, and it was like this whole. It was nightmare fuel.
Yeah, and then
But
sometimes
other moms it works out great, and it's like whatever.
My first one also like didn't latch properly. Had no idea he had a tongue tie, and I just like kept going for a whole 9 months, and I was just like, but for the first
Fighting
3,
through it.
it was just like I couldn't even wear a t-shirt. I just had to like walk around just like barely like this. It's a lot.
It's
anyway,
a whole to do.
Any moms out there
We'll
that are
just do
still
a breastfeeding
yeah.
episode because my
Yeah.
God, there's so much to it.
So many questions.
I had no idea. You thought I was done. I got what are the? It's an infection where like if you skip a feed or whatever, it gets backed up and it creates like a glob of gack in your titty.
It's
What
called.
the
It
fuck
starts with
is
an
gack?
M. It starts with an M.
What
it's
is
called
gack?
I woke up with like 104-degree fever on my birthday after my first son.
mastitis.
And I like my titty was so red.
Yep.
It was like redder than this carpet with the veins, whatever. And I felt like I was dying. And they were like, you have a severe infection. It gets infected then. And then you have to like, it's terrible.
You have to get in a hot shower.
And what was this motion?
Yeah, you have to get in a hot
You have
shower
to
and
pump
massage
you can feel
it
the
out.
clumps and you have to push and they come out like
And when you're in the shower, it just like it's like hitting the shower wall, and you're just like trying to get it all
Clogging
out.
the drain. Gack.
Think about that next time you're raw dogging. You want to take that risk.
Oh God.
Anyways, where were we?
Yeah, hyper local news. Ice cream machine.
My God. Oh, ice cream machine. Other hyper local news. The Office got an ice cream machine this
Speaking
week.
of producing milk.
Yeah, we have the cream team, Jacob and new employee Zach, who were Big Cat, really wanted an ice cream machine here this summer. He found a cream team and he's like, go out and find me an ice cream machine. Here's the unveiling of that ice cream machine.
Dun, 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 dun.
Whoa! Look at it. There it is.
Did not see that coming.
There's the Taylor.
There it is.
Oh my God. Insert it.
Now, can I say something that's not the best?
Sure.
Does it already look a little dirty?
It looks broken. dirty.
It looks the wheels look musty as
It
hell.
looks like it's already harboring listeria.
If I had a 50-50 guess of was this $7,000 or found, I'm wrong every time.
One of those wheels is definitely just like a shopping cart wheel that just
I just nailed that one.
Yeah.
He nailed that one.
He nailed that one. So the cream team, they found a machine. Apparently, it used to belong to a very popular burger restaurant here, Small Cheval.
Delicious.
Okay. It used to belong to them. Over $7,000 altogether. Still needs to be cleaned. And then it's costing Big Cat thousands and thousands more because they failed to get the correct, I guess there's a certain electrical plug-in that it needs. They thought we had it. We don't. So now we have to get a bunch of electrical work done. And
another
just
4,000 or
another day at
5,000.
the stool.
Yeah. No
Looks
one said
like
getting an ice cream machine would be easy.
Going to be a rocky road ahead. Hopefully no one's having Briar's remorse.
Oh.
Sounds like these guys need to go to Sunday school. Or they do another one of these purchases.
Oh, keep it going.
Speaking of, there might be even more trouble getting ice cream machine up and running as Big Cat got scammed by a phishing email for an Uber Eats cash card last night. Every now and then they'll test us because in true Barstool fashion, many of us have fallen for actual phishing scams here, lest we forget the infamous Trista Crick. Wherever she be. She's alive.
Wherever
she's out
she
there.
be. Wherever she be.
She fell for one big time. Several other people have too. And Big Cat fell for one, and it was for an Uber Eats gift card. I was cracking up because he said he hasn't opened an email here in like 5 years, and the one that he opened was for an Uber Eats gift card.
It was hard too. Like it looked official.
Yeah, Pete got it. So All Business Pete, who's in charge of all our tech stuff, sent out that fake phishing email, and he got Big Cat, and he said that the ice cream machine will not open until Big Cat takes his training. We have to take our online training, so there's another roadblock in that. Should we head on over? Do you guys have any other hyperlocal news? Anything cracking?
As of now, I don't think so.
Okay.
Do you have
There's
anything?
This is a very deep investigation. My next one, it's been ongoing, but there's been more people stealing Evan's water bottle and framing other people, and we recently got the tape, so just stay tuned next week. But
Okay.
I can't say anything yet. It's too serious.
So he did this to himself.
Yeah.
He went on the company Slack to hundreds of people. It was like, my water bottle, and now he did this to himself.
He got what he wanted.
I don't want to say. I don't want to victim blame, but.
I love that he's a villain on this show.
Oh yeah,
From
he
now on.
hit a woman.
Oh, that's right.
That's right. He's a bad man. People forget. All right, let's head on over to the internet overview, aka the rock and scroll. You know how it goes. The big thing, a couple of big things on my radar this week: plastic surgery. Kris Jenner and Lauren Sanchez. Lauren Sanchez is getting married to Jeff Bezos, the Amazon. Have you heard of him? Amazon guy, Jeff Bezos. They're getting married in like a $10 million 3-day wedding ceremony in Venice, or blah 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 blah. And she had her bachelorette party in Paris, where Kris Jenner and Kim happened to be for that trial. Remember when they tied Kim up and tried to take her jewelry?
Yes.
And whatnot. Anyway, out of the whole group, because there was like Katy Perry and Eva Longoria and all these people were there. Apparently, well, not apparently, the big headlines are that Kris Jenner and Lauren Sanchez look completely different. They've already both had. I think Kris Jenner's open about it. Lauren said, look at her now.
Whoa.
She looks like Kim.
No, it's insane.
She looks exactly like, from that angle, I'd be like, oh, that's Kim Kardashian.
I went back and looked at like all of the things that like from previously to the like what she's gotten done.
Yeah.
And like the amount of work she got done on her face is she must have been hiding for the last 4 months, because the recovery alone had to have
From
taken
this
that long.
had to be a lot. I think the next link, Mackenzie, is the like before and after of her, and you could see it's like absolutely crazy. Her plastic surgeon, this guy Dr. Stephen Levine, he works in New York City, Park Avenue. He told people that he's so in demand right now, and especially because of Kris Jenner's new face, people are offering to pay him double. And I think like the lowest thing he does starts at like $45,000. People are offering to pay him double. People are offering him to stay at my house in the Hamptons all summer. Like, you can just have my Hamptons house. That's her before, and after is crazy. Like, whatever that is. Because a lot of people, I mean, people are talking about how the filler's like migrating and all this stuff. And he smoothed it all out.
Yeah, no crow's feet anymore.
Have you guys seen Christina Aguilera too?
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, that it has to be the same guy, because she looks just like she did whenever she did the Dirty video.
Can I ask something?
Sure.
You may.
So this is obviously much next level, top of the top Botox, but I feel like in general, like routine Botox has become like a regular thing for most girls.
For most
a
girls,
ton of women, yeah.
I've never gotten any Botox. Have you?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
And
But
some
once-
say like it's like it could be for another reason other than looks,
They
like
said,
the jaw.
yeah, they said that I need to get it in my TMJ joint because I clench really
Yeah,
hard.
I've heard that.
But I have wanted to get like some in between like my eyebrows and my forehead.
But,
like
like-
all the TikTok girls, like basically of like,
Yeah, when
they
did
go
it-
for preventive maintenance.
When did it happen? Like when did you go from, you know, the salon to right after you're going to Botox?
It's never really been in my cards.
Well, it's huge. Like, I kind of wanted to talk about it because it's so, like, plastic surgery and getting work done and stuff in general has become so huge. Like, she just had Lauren Sanchez up, and like that's an example of like,
Wow.
maybe calm down. I'm not here to judge. Maybe calm down on it a little bit. Maybe take it easy.
She looks like the fish from Shark Tales, the one that
Yeah.
Angelina
Yes.
Jolie plays.
Yes,
Yeah,
she
that's
does.
tough.
Yeah.
But
Tough.
so this was her, and then she also went, I think, and got, because people were talking about her too, she got some kind of refining thing done. So this is him and her. Look at it. And then her latest photo, and this was him and his first wife.
Okay.
And people, she's beautiful too. She's
Yeah.
like, whatever. But she went, and they think she tried to have a Kris Jenner type, make it like natural
Yeah.
that out a little bit, because everybody was whatever ahead of her wedding. But Botox, the plastic surgery, all that stuff. I was looking into it. $783 billion a year industry, the beauty and wellness market. And I am totally team, like, you want to feel comfortable in your skin. Like, eventually I can totally see me getting these just lifted up a little bit. They're a little like this, lift them up. Maybe, that's probably all I do, I guess. But I do feel like there's an extent where it's so normalized that we forget that, like, people are trying to normalize it because they're making so much money off making us insecure enough to feel like we have to do that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like there's definitely a line for me where I'm like, and I think with rich people, they're around so much plastic surgery that it looks super normal to them.
Right.
So to us normies, we're like, whoa, what the fuck, Lauren Sanchez?
Yeah.
But to them, they're like, oh my God, who's doing that? That's perfect on you. Like, whatever. I don't know. The biggest critique I've seen, especially about Kris Jenner, is like, oh, we don't have a cure for endometriosis or childhood cancer, but we can make an 80-year-old look fuckable.
Yeah.
She's actually only 69. But like, hey, maybe we're focusing on the wrong.
I think we might be focusing on the wrong stuff, but again, it's a $83 billion a year industry. Why would they cure cancer when
$783 billion a year?
Oh, fuck, my
you're
bad.
off by
I'm off
700 billion.
a lot. So, I mean, why cure cancer when we could just give you more
Get rid of your
things
forehead
in
lines.
in your face to give you more cancer?
But it's great. The former Facebook exec, Sarah Wynne Williams, she came out with this book, Careless People, that I want to read. It's on my list. But like, she said they would track accounts of teenage girls who deleted selfies and then target those girls with beauty ads for stuff like that. Like, that kind of shit is happening. And so it's normalized. Like, plastic surgeons, I've seen some articles where they're like turning down young people because they're like, wait, stop. This is like,
I just like, it's just crazy to me because like, there are adult women out there that are allowing their 16, 17-year-old girls to like get boob jobs and do all that because they want them to feel confident. Like, I had to beg my mom to shave my legs in 6th grade.
Yes.
Beg her.
Yeah.
It was like, please, Mom, I don't want to be the only girl in my class with hairy legs. And she's like, I don't know. Now it's like, Mom, my boobs are too small. And it's like, well, we can go see if we can get something done about that. Like, what has happened?
I know. It's a little, I had a very hairy mole on the side of my face. It was like in that Austin Powers movie when Austin Powers like, moly, moly, moly. Yeah. It was like that kind of mole. And I got bullied for it so bad that finally in 5th grade, I was like, Mom, what the fuck, please. And we finally got it off. I have like a scar still from it over here. But
that's understandable, though.
That's fine. But she wasn't about to get me tits kind of thing. I don't know.
It's like getting braces. Like, it's just like fix what you already have and correct
I'll
things.
buzz the hair off your mole, but you're not getting braces.
You could like throw, it was a lot. Also, I want to note, we're not just shitting on women for getting plastic surgery. There's a lot of men out there doing it too.
A ton of men, yeah.
Brian Johnson, that guy who's going to be young forever. Yeah.
He looks terrifying.
He's like doing stuff like electroshocking his penis every morning
bizarre.
it's just all, he's like putting his son's blood and like drinking.
He looks AI. I don't like it. He's making me like that picture makes me uncomfortable.
Is he buying the black market breast milk?
Probably. And even worse than that, we have somebody here in this office who people forget bald stool. We had a ton of guys go get plastic surgery in Turkey. I guess it's not plastic surgery, but
technically, I guess you can call it cosmetic surgery.
Yeah, I think Dave got his nose done too while he was there.
I think a few people got work done. But have you gotten anything done?
I haven't, but I've wanted to go get the Botox just because like I make the are you fucking kidding me face all the time.
Yeah.
So like I would like for that.
But I got smoker's lips.
But I will say the girls upstairs kind of like talked me out of it because they're like, I don't know, like without your expressions, like you wouldn't be you. And I was like, is that just a ploy to make me age faster and you guys stay young? But you know, I kind of like my expressions. I'm okay with aging as long as I get to wear makeup and cover up all of my flaws that I'm insecure about.
Yeah, I try to act like, because I generally don't wear makeup, and I have decided to like stop dyeing my hair. I'll get like highlights here and there, but I'm just letting it go gray, and I act like that's like my act of rebellion or whatever. But actually, I'm just poor. I just 2 daycare payments and an overpriced mortgage is destroying my life.
People have been accusing me of dyeing my hair in the comments. Never once. It's really getting to me.
I only
though.
see like one gray.
Yeah, you should.
Do I have grays?
I see one. That's it.
All right,
Shit.
new topic.
Tough lighting. But yeah, it's crazy industry, and it's like ever growing. And I just feel like maybe there's a line that we're done with.
Love yourselves.
Yeah, how about that? This show is about accepting what's what and what real life is, and real life is getting older. Yeah, look at this queen.
I have become obsessed with Pam Anderson. She doesn't wear makeup anymore. She basically just like skincare. I'm sure she gets like lasers and like all that kind of like skin stuff or whatever. But I think she had a Broadway show, so she's wearing makeup for that. But like the fact that her just not wearing makeup has like blown minds and gotten her magazine covers and top news stories everywhere, because we're just not used to seeing women look natural. But it's so crazy.
Also crazy because I feel like a lot of her career was built off of the male gaze, and once she decided to
shout out Barstool Pat.
Once she decided to take off the makeup, all the men are like, "Oh, what the fuck?"
Dudes are commenting on that, like, "Yeah, gross, blah blah blah." People are like shell shocked seeing her, and I'm like, she's so gorgeous.
Like,
that's like a normal.
Hey, that's what people look like when they don't have makeup on.
Overall, I'm cool with it to like an extent. My biggest pet peeve, my last thing on this, when people who profit off of us buying their beauty stuff don't tell us, or like their fitness stuff, they get work done and then they act like they just did it themselves. Remy Bader was the first one that came to my mind. You know the Remy Bader lore.
Yeah, of course. No, what?
She was like, first she was like plus size and all about loving your body and body, and she's beautiful. Like she was great fashion, great style.
Yep.
She got the surgery.
Yeah.
Didn't say anything to her fans, lost all this
everyone
weight.
thought it was Ozempic, but it ended up being, I think, like a gastric sleeve or something.
It was like some new sort of surgery.
Yeah.
That
Is
was
liposuction still around? Anyone still doing that?
Yeah,
I think so.
Is Ozempic
it's
just
more
taking
like
it over?
cool sculpting and stuff now. I think like they move it to different areas and like zap it out of you or something.
So Remy lied.
Remy, and I think that's fun. Like you don't owe anybody like what you're doing to your blah blah blah. But if you're selling stuff to people and acting like you're doing it yourself and you have a platform, then that's fucked up. And like that's looking at you, Liver King. Fucking Liver King, you broke my heart. I thought that was all natural.
I met him in Houston once. It was him him and his wife, and they like made him put his shirt on, and he was like, "I'm not leaving." He's like, "I'm not gonna put my shirt on, and I'm not leaving." And I still have the Liver Queen supplements. I just wanted to like keep them in case. And then, of course, it all unraveled, and he was a big liar.
But they're both he's still doing fine. He's still got, he came to the Barstool office and had like a cloud of smell around him that was
gross.
Bananas.
Was it gross?
It was like oldie level.
Oh my God, I was just about to say that.
Huh?
He was bad smelling?
Yeah.
He fucking
It was like he thought it was just like a manly musk.
Yeah,
no, he smelled like he smelled like trash juice.
Yeah.
Come on, primals.
Yeah, let's go primals.
With me.
Anyway, that's my 2 cents on plastic surgery. Is basically you do you.
Yep.
But tell us, if you have a platform.
Yeah.
Anyway, up next, I found this came across my TikTok when I was sitting in the rocking chair scrolling. The recipe graves lady. I love walking through cemeteries, and which is weird enough, I guess. But I used to live near one in the Bronx, Woodlawn Cemetery, and they would do tours like on Valentine's Day. They would do like Woodlawn is for Lovers tour, where they would take you to all the famous couples' graves and tell you about their stories, or like Halloween, they'd take you to the murderers' graves. And blah, blah,
New
blah.
Orleans a lot.
I took a cemetery tour in New Orleans. Like all that shit's really cool. And this woman, she was in school, like getting her grad degree. I forget what for, but as a project, she started making this account where she goes to gravestones across the country that have recipes. I'll let you watch. Bringing the dishes to their gravestones around the world.
That's so cute.
Yeah, so she goes to these gravestones. People alert her now because her account's like going viral, but they'll alert her like there's this gravestone in my like parents' cemetery or whatever that has a recipe on it, and she'll go there. She'll make the recipe. She hits up the family if there's any family remaining, and she'll like make the recipe with that family and interview them. And now she has a cookbook to die for, which is all gravestone
great idea.
recipes. Yeah, like all sorts of. I think it is a great idea. It's going pretty viral.
So people have low key been putting recipes on their gravestones for years.
Forever. Yeah. Because
I didn't know that was like a thing.
Yeah, I didn't know that
There's
either.
Secret family recipes,
Yeah.
And it is like, I think one of the things we remember about people is like, my grandma always made this or blah, 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 blah. And so I think it's kind of cool. What's your gravestone recipe?
Shit, mine would probably be like in order, if anything: beef, wet hot, cheese fry, Coke.
It says beef on it. Yeah. It's just be your order.
Cause of death too.
I would say mine would either be gumbo, just because like I make it all the time. It's kind of my like homie, like makes close to my heart.
Yeah.
Or my grandma used to make something for me, and I make it now for my kids, called Chocolate Delight, and it's just like this like shortbread bottom with like chocolate pudding and like whipped cream, and it's just the perfect like sweet treat and the perfect like mouthfeel consistency. I'm just obsessed with it. So that would probably be one or two of my gravestones.
I would love a little chocolate delight on a gravestone.
I might have to make some and bring some in for next episode.
Please do. Bring your grave meals in. Bring a beef, bring a chocolate delight. I think I'm going hoagie dip.
Yeah, I love a good
Very
hoagie dip.
expensive, a lot of meats, but it's worth it. Her fiance even proposed to her with a gravestone. This guy, like, because she's so known for this now.
Thoughts?
Recipe for love.
Aw, that's actually really thoughtful.
My first reaction when I opened it was like, ugh. And then I was like, okay, she's a quirky lady. This is a quirky thing.
I like quirks.
2020 forever. But yeah, I thought that was cute.
Daunting.
What are you gonna do? I guess you guys are gonna hate this. Well, I could circle back to breastfeeding, but I guess we've covered that.
I feel like, we covered that.
We've covered that. There was this woman, Stephanie Case, completed an 100-kilometer ultramarathon, and every time she stopped, she would stop and breastfeed her daughter. She's only 6 months postpartum, and I loved her message. At first, I was like, oh, man, this is, like, not realistic for what most moms, blah, blah, blah. But she had this great message on this caption. She went into this race with no expectations, just 6 months postpartum after years of miscarriages and IVF failures. And she said it was like riding a bike. She hadn't done a race like this in over 3 years. And it was like she got right back to it. And she wanted to show her daughter, like, to be able to look back and be like, look how amazing mom runners can be. She ended up winning the race. She said, whether you're thinking of being a mom or pregnant or a new mom yourself, don't be afraid to keep setting big goals for yourself. Everyone has an opinion about what new moms should or shouldn't be doing. And that doesn't open a lot of space for out there ideas like running an ultra. And basically she's like, you are the only one who knows what works for you and your family. Like, don't let anyone else's opinion stop you from whatever. I also love that she said, stories like this, while inspiring to some, can be demotivating to others. Because I looked at that at first. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, man, I couldn't put a shirt on for months afterwards. Like my spot, like I like got permanently disabled from having, like, I could never do something like that. She's like, I'm lucky to be physically okay after childbirth with a lot of pelvic floor work. Others aren't. That's another episode, Danny. Don't worry. Others aren't so lucky. And let's be real. When I started dry heaving, I lost all bladder control at 95 kilometers. There's no comeback after childbirth. There's just a next phase. And whatever it looks like, whether on or off trail, it'll be right for you. And I loved that she acknowledged, like, it's just so different for everybody. I love that moms are doing badass stuff like this. And I just think that's so fucking cool.
It was really inspiring, honestly. I
Yeah.
mean, like, I had a hard enough time, like, just getting up and like taking a shower, getting out of bed, getting to the shower, and then getting to the couch to like just nurse my brand new baby.
Yeah.
I could not imagine putting my own body through such a physical toll just to then put my body through something also physically tolling.
Yeah.
Obviously, you know, she must really love nursing her baby. There's plenty of people out there that loved it. I personally hated it. I felt like I was a prisoner in my own body, and that I was just still like I did 9 months, and now I'm doing another 9 months. Like, I'll just attach to this guy. But no, that's really cool, and that just was very inspiring, and that's made me really happy.
So I love that. Now, knowing what I know about breastfeeding, do you guys see it as like a flex when girls are posting videos of them breastfeeding in random places, like they're just able to do it anywhere, anytime? I
love that. I don't think moms should have to cover up. I think they should be able to do it anywhere and like whatever. But when I struggled with it, I saw a video of a mom breastfeeding while bowling, and it like triggered me. So I was like, I can't get him to latch, and this woman just got a 300 with a baby on her boob. But I love it. I think like go off if it works for you. You do you.
I will say the first time I tried to feed my son like in a public space, we were at this burger restaurant, and I just I was overflown with milk.
Yeah.
And I just like I felt like I was like suffocating him, and then it just like kept squirting in his eyes, and like it was just like
it's really stressful.
I just needed another Coke, and like I was just like, I don't ever want to come out ever again while I breastfeed.
Yeah.
But then I figured it out.
Yeah, so you gotta stock up if you're going on a trip or something, or otherwise that's how you end up just breastfeeding in public.
Yeah, or you're in the back seat like hanging your tit over the baby.
If you breastfeed, some people pump and then only give them the bottle. Some people breastfeed, and if you do breastfeed, like
the number one thing is your baby's got to eat. So
also a
Baby's
lot of
gotta eat.
a lot of breastfed babies just won't take bottles. My son was one that just like wouldn't take a bottle, so I was
only one-
I was
yeah.
strapped.
Straight from the source, he wants it.
Shout
Cut
out
out
to the formula
middleman.
moms too. I was a mix of both, and it worked out fine. Pink, but we're almost out of time. Mostly Sports is about to start up next year. I'm still working out the timing of this show, and I still haven't done an interview yet. Whatever. We'll figure it out. For my pink back, I just have to brag. Whole family went out to dinner on Friday night. We never do that. We were out for a walk, and Pat and I looked at each other. We were just like, should we go in this fucking restaurant and try? We did it. The service was quick. We were in, and now there's a pinball machine to keep the baby, blah, 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 blah. And we successfully went out to dinner as a family of 4. That's never happened before.
Really?
We
Inaugural?
did have to give the baby, my phone tipped over with Miss Rachel on it for like 5 minutes, but we did it. I was riding that high. Huge meltdown in the wagon on the walk home. Doesn't matter. I was riding that high.
It's a huge day whenever you first go out as a family of 4.
Yeah. Review. Watch the Pee Wee Herman documentary on HBO. It's fucking fabulous. Okay, it was fucking fabulous. Doom piles of the week. They're gonna have to wait, I think, because we don't want to go. Can we go over it mostly? I don't know.
If you want, yeah.
I don't think there's like a huge overlap.
No,
of
I think it's
sports,
okay.
you
I
know
think
what?
it's okay.
They're losing all their viewership.
Also, Pink Back, we had that last minute All American Rejects concert here. We found out that day.
It was so much fun.
I am a big no, we can't do it. I got a sitter at the last minute. Pat and I went. It was only for 2 hours, 9 to 11. We were out, and it was still worth it. So even if you're just like, fuck, I can only get the sitter for an hour or whatever, I say still go for it.
Do it.
Mm-hmm.
Get just anything to change the pace.
Change
even
the
on a
scenery,
weeknight.
yeah.
Change the scenery, whatever. It was worth it. It was awesome. I smoked a cigarette.
Ooh.
I still have some left over from the Mexico trip. I said I'm going to be real bad.
You said you usually do 10 a year?
10 a year.
What number do you think we're at?
I'm at like 20 right now because of the
Yeah, treat
Mexico
yourself.
trip threw
Right.
me off a little
Mexico
bit.
doesn't count. It's
It
not.
doesn't
It's
count.
out of the U.S.
On U.S.
Yeah.
soil, I'm only at like 6.
Yeah, nationally 6, internationally
Yeah.
maybe 37.
Yeah.
Maybe, but anyway, that was exciting. And then Indiana Dunes was my other pink bag. I took my kids by myself to this big dunes in Indiana, and I like. It's so nerve-wracking taking kids places by yourself, like the scooter video. But every time I do it, I feel so much more confident as a mom afterwards. I'm like, oh shit, that was like 10,000 stairs and sandy dunes and beach water and blah blah blah. Like, obviously,
No one died.
within the risk. Like, being
The
careful.
dunes could be intense.
It's intense, and with a bad back and a baby, and now I'm like, oh shit, I did that. Now maybe I'm not so afraid to go do the next thing or whatever. Like, when I had my first, it took me like almost a year to even take him to the grocery store, and now I have 2 by myself, and I'm like, fuck it, let's go to the dunes. Like, it's just cool that as time goes on, like, it helps me get my pay. I'm becoming more confident.
I didn't
as
even
a
want
mom.
to drive on the highway when I had my first one.
Yeah.
I was like having panic attacks.
It's
It was
nutty.
not good.
The anxiety is real.
Wow, I'm thinking of bringing a kid to the dunes. I went with my buddy, and he couldn't even stop but like fall all the way down one.
And
it
it's
was
hard
the highest
to walk
one.
through that sand.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're holding their hand the whole time in that, right?
No, the
climbing.
4-year-old was like, he was like
He's just
gone.
going
He
with the
was
sand.
fucking gone.
One
And
with the wind.
And the 1.5-year-old like wouldn't touch the sand. So I was like, it was great. Highly recommend it. It was really fun. Finally, we got our Doom Piles of the Week.
Doom pile of the week.
Doom Piles of the Week. First off, I had a pile throwback of my own from my firstborn in the New York office. I forgot my desk and PFT's desk were back to back.
Oh my God.
We worked in this every day.
Holy shit.
And I don't think either of us recognized it was a problem. And I would bring my son in on the weekends, and he would just like, he had a blast.
That's a storage unit.
Yeah.
It is. And it was so much worse than that at times. And just crazy. I was going through memories the other day. I saw that. I was like, holy shit. We didn't realize we were like working in a doom pile.
Fucking Mount Crumpet.
So don't feel bad if you got one. The next one's anonymous. This was an interesting tactic, I thought. So this is her hallway closet where she keeps high rotation items stuffed. She has a walk-in closet in her room, but apparently she doesn't use that much because she keeps the high rotation items here, but she's always stuck digging through this to get to the high rotation items. So
I like it. I like the thought behind it. This sounds like something I would do, and then I would frantically be looking for one shirt and then throw everything out and then just create a doom pile on the floor from the closet.
yeah, it was a great idea. I think it escalated for her a little too quickly. Next up, we have Samantha F. It's a neat doom. Don't judge. We're not judging. At
This
first,
one
I was
is
like, this
extremely
is too
neat.
But she said it looks neat, but we got license plates from our first cars, sports memorabilia, broken frames, old end tables. This is the part I found most relatable about her post. Amazon orders I'm hiding. Amazon returns I missed the deadlines on.
Oh no.
And it deflated. So I will never return anything.
I'm so bad at
Never
returning.
going to return anything. It's just not happening.
Yeah, the extra trip is usually not worth the money, even though I should be doing it.
Yeah, so I found that very relatable. Danielle A. said, please enjoy my doom pile, which is 5 feet tall. I love a good Jenga doom pile that just keeps stacking, and it's wedged. I have one too, wedged next to our little food cabinet that's like kind of hidden from people, but it's not, and it just keeps getting higher and higher. I loved within there. You see that stupid stick of fucking bubbles.
Yeah.
Every family has like 50 with the young kids has like 50 of these.
I fucking hate bubbles.
The kids use it one time, then it spills everywhere, and it's like a fucking
No,
nightmare.
they're like, can I hold it? Can I hold it? And then you give it to them, and immediately just pours it on the ground.
And everything's all slippery.
Yeah, I always thought bubbles were kind of dying until I had nieces and nephews. And
Oh, no,
they
bubble
always had that
industry.
shit on them.
If you work in Big Bubble, hit us up because we could certainly talk to you, or if you're looking to sponsor a show. But yeah, that pile had everything. It had Legos, bubbles, a deflated ball.
I really like this next one because it's very relatable.
This
for me.
one I loved. Emily S. said, I've been sleeping in this for days. a good sleeper doom.
And all those clothes are clean and probably were folded.
Yeah.
You know, the thought process is you transfer the dirty clothes from the hamper to the bed, so that would force yourself to fold them. But then you're so depressed or whatever it may be, that's when you're just sleeping on top of your clothes.
That's in my city days. It would be I'd come back from the bar and just be like, fuck it, whatever. And that's kind of what would happen. I assume that's what's happening with, because it looks like she lives in the city. Yes, I like to think she's living an enchanted life, and so this is just a small side.
Yeah,
thing
this is her guest room.
Not a
she
big
puts
deal.
the clothes on.
Up next, we have Mostly Sports with Brandon Walker and Mark Titus. Next week, we'll probably just talk about breastfeeding again the whole time. No, I'm just kidding. We'll talk.
Are you going to give a Doom Pile winner out today?
Oh, Doom Pile winner for me. I really, really loved the bed Doom Pile.
I did too. It's between that and the Jenga one for me because the bubbles really hit home.
I kind of love the Jenga Doom Pile. Danny, any thoughts?
The Jenga one is impressive. He's going against gravity there. I want to see it get higher and higher. That's my pick.
Okay, let's do
because you're keeping it confined at the same time, which is big. A Doom Pile that's just all over the floor, taking up space.
Yeah.
You don't have to really worry about going stacking vertically.
Let's do the vertical Doom. We're doing a vertical Doom Pile. Congratulations to Danielle A. on your 5-foot Doom Pile. Keep it growing, honey. Keep it growing.
Keep it growing.
You get this. I think this is a Verizon mug.
It is.
And some Stella Blue K-Cups. Side note, extra Doom Pile in my life. I still haven't mailed out the last 2. I will. But that's becoming my own internal Doom Pile that I'm stressing out about.
It all comes full circle.
So know when it gets to you, that was part of a Doom Pile. But
Yes,
they
it
will get
was.
to you. We'll do that. Also, I promised the guys from the Mackenzie Dating Show I'd send them hats and stuff. Not sending one to the guy.
Yeah, no.
Okay,
no.
He's not getting one.
They don't
3 of them
deserve
can
it.
get a hat.
3 of them got it, but that guy's never fucking getting it. That's Kate and Friends. I'm still working out what this is.
Yep.
I still don't know.
All I know is I'm having a great time, and I
Right.
hope
Yes.
that everyone listening is having a great time, and hopefully you feel like this is very relatable and like you're not like the worst person in the world, because we're showing you guys that this is real. It's very real.
It's called Barstool Sports, not Barstool Breast Milk Talk.
Boob
Get
button.
it out of your
Get
system.
the boob button. Hit the
We'll
boob
be back
button.
again next week. Thank you all for being here. Super grateful.
Send in your pink back ideas.
Send in pink back ideas to
Doom
send Danny on
piles.
missions, Doom Piles, anything you want to congratulate somebody for,
Crazy
shout
stories.
outs, event, whatever. We'll come up with a better system for that someday. In the meantime, head on over to Mostly Sports, and Kate and Tell Mostly, this is Come, signing off. See you next Thursday.